let's move on to some Superman success. Okay, dude. So again, keeping it spoiler free, not gonna be talking about much, and I hope the chat keeps it the same way. Superman. All right, so the movie, dude, all the pressure, all the worrying. James Gunn must be so relieved this week. And it's not entirely set in stone, but I think it's safe to say Superman is both a success financially and critically. So, looking at it just critic wise, not only did the critics enjoy the movie, going right where I said it would be. I was like low 80s, high 70s. That's what I thought Superman would be because I just knew there were too many weird elements from the trailer that not everybody was going to be able to get with the movie. But I'm glad so many people still did because I still really like it. And audience score, I fully expected this to be so low with all the loud, fans that wanted this movie to be destroyed, the people who can't give up on Henry Cavill and don't want to move on. But that's still fairly high. That's like super high, man. And so as far as it goes, this movie is a success to the young. People like and enjoy it. Yes, there are people who don't like it and they're being pretty loud. That's fine, understandable. And even some of the criticisms I think is fair, and I bring it up in my spoiler review. Now, when we look at the box office of this movie, that's where we talk about another big thing here. It says here that Superman gunning, the gun didn't jam. Guns a blazing. My gun is oiled up. Huh? Superman gunning towards 210 million, a worldwide opening international box office. That is pretty big. That's really good for them. I think that'll actually I think that lets us in to let us know that we're going to have some nice legs. I don't think they have a strong prediction on where the movie could end. I know there's been a lot of talk that like the movie needs to make $1 billion to be successful, or that the movie needs to make so and so. From the interviews and things that James Gunn is saying, which we'll see if that's true, the movie only needs to make 500 million to crack even. That's with marketing and everything involved. Once it hits the 500 million point, it's all profit from there. I'm still thinking it'll end somewhere around the Batman because even these numbers are similar to the way the Batman opened up. People are even saying that this is similar to the way Man of Steel opened up. I do wonder how Fantastic Four will hit it and whatnot, but there is a 2-week gap between Superman and Fantastic Four. I think it's enough there to really get enough money and then have slow legs for the rest of the end of the summer leading into the fall where it'll hopefully be released later on, dude. If they announce this thing's coming to digital like in 3 or 4 weeks, Warner Brothers, you're shooting this movie in the foot. Please don't do that. Wait like you did for Sinners, like a whole 2-3 months for Superman to hit VOD and let people experience this in theaters. So, guys, we're here. DC is saved, and we are at a good starting point where the future is bright and optimistic, just like a David Cornsweat Superman. I can't believe it, man. I didn't know, because even with me being optimistic and open to what James Gunn is doing and even being happy with the movie, I was still scared about the box office, the reception amongst fans, and how that will go. But I think we're at a good start. And honestly, the movie did make me so excited about the future of the DCU. So let's talk about some of those actual projects that are up and coming here. So let's see here, DCU spinoffs. So there's been some reports coming out. It says here, report reveals new details on James Gunn's DCU plan, including TV spinoff, Superman box office target, and much more. Okay, so there was this article by the Wall Street Journal, which I wanted to purchase and read. It's unfortunately one of those can I just read it now? Oh, okay, cool. Don't tell me it's gonna go away. When I tried looking at it earlier, you had to pay, but I guess now it's open. Okay, well, cool. Then I should have read that before the stream. Sorry about that, guys. But we still got the cliff notes. In here, though, they revealed some stuff. So it says here that Gunn is reportedly considering expanding the rebooted universe with TV spinoffs for characters like Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen. Okay, 2 thoughts on that. I would love the Mr. Terrific show. Oh, in fact, I don't even need to Google him. You know why? Because your boy has many terrific. I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific. That's his catchphrase. Yep. You brought the dog, man. What's another Mr. Terrific line? I would so be down. He was one of the characters I knew absolutely nothing about. Didn't know much. All I knew was like, okay, he's like the 3rd smartest person in the DCU, and he's got these spheres that he can do stuff with. Okay, all that great. He's one of the best supporting characters, has a lot of cool moments. In fact, one really awesome scene. I like him so much. I don't want him to get a TV show. I want him to get the movie with the Terrifics. You know, James Gunn has been kind of hinting at that and whatnot. He posted a picture once of like the Terrifics fighting the Justice League. I have no idea what that could mean, but dude, a movie with Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Plastic Man, played by whoever this character is. I do have to do research on that. Let's see it. Let's have it happen. This could be the Fantastic Four for the DCU. At least that's how some comic book fans describe the Terrifics. They're almost like the Fantastic Four for the DCU. I would love that. That would be so awesome. But if you do a TV show, I wouldn't mind it. I just still have like PTSD from the MCU and the way they've handled TV shows. But when I look at what DC has done with Penguin, Peacemaker, well, they're 2 for 2 then. They're doing a really great job. I mean, so, and other people will say like Watchmen was awesome. Still haven't seen the Watchmen TV series. So I'd be like, okay, it probably could be good. Oh, dude, I can't wait for the Green Lantern series. After Guy Gardner being in there and he's going to be in the Lantern series. Oh, that's going to be good. Okay, now Jimmy Olsen though, that's another story. I get it, Gunn. You made him a Rizzler. He can rizz up all these women and whatnot. He's a womanizer. That's cool. I'll save it for my spoiler review. Never mind. I'll save it for the spoiler live stream. I don't know if I wouldn't be interested in a Jimmy Olsen TV show. I don't even, would you just have him being a journalist in Metropolis and uncovering things and sleeping with hot chicks? Great, James. So I don't know. I wouldn't be down for it, but yes, Jimmy Olsen's show would be the most insane thing. But maybe it's just like something he's pondering. I don't think he's taking it that serious. There's other characters I would much rather get some sort of love. Okay. Pre-release surveys indicate Superman will have a big opening weekend with more than 125 million domestically, and like we said, worldwide, a 200 million opening, which is really good. Soon after 2017 Justice League killed the DCU, Warner executives met with Marvel. Oh yeah, they apparently revealed this in this article that after Justice League kind of flopped for them, the old Warner Brother bosses went to Kevin Feige and they were like, "Bro, can help us out, man. We don't know what we're doing over here. You got the hat. You got the brain. Take over the ship." And Kevin Feige, the good Boy Scout, did not turn his back on Marvel. Although I would have loved to have seen what Kevin Feige could have done with the DCU. Trying to convince him to switch sides, but the talks fizzled. That's interesting that they say fizzled. Because to me, it sounded like Feige was curious. He was like, well, what you offering? What you got back there? What can I do? You know, like that. But it also goes to show you why they were so quick to pick up James Gunn when he was canceled. Warner Brothers did not care, and they called him that same week. Remember when James Gunn was fired from Guardians? Dude, Warner Brothers was like, "Oh, dude, you killed a puppy? Okay, we don't care. You want to make a movie with us? We really need it, buddy." It just shows you how desperate Warner Brothers was at that time. But hey, it worked out for the best, dude. That's one of the things that still blows my mind to this day. Like seriously, think about the domino effect and all that. Like, I know this is gonna sound so unrelated, but stay with me here. Spoiler alert for Jurassic World Rebirth. With not huge spoiler. It's literally the first 2 minutes of the movie. But in the opening of that movie, the D-Rex is able to escape and go out because a Snickers bar goes into the vents and it leaves the door open. Okay, that's the only spoiler I'll give you for that movie. And I talked about how I hated that, and I thought that was dumb. And all the comments were like, Chris, that's chaos theory. That's how that explains, like in Jurassic World, the smallest things lead to the biggest impact. It doesn't work when you go from small domino to giant domino. It works when it's small domino to slightly bigger, slightly bigger, slightly bigger, slightly bigger, slightly bigger, until you get to the giant one. That scene was small domino to giant domino in one hit. All is to say, think about the chaos theory of James Gunn 15 years ago making really inappropriate, nasty jokes online. And then that small domino effect, all in the background, going, getting fired, getting that, leaving DC, making a Suicide Squad movie, getting head of studio, making a Superman movie, and here we are. That just blows my mind to think about. I'm just like, the Superman movie began when James Gunn made nasty tweets. I don't know. It was crazy that happened, dude. Even think about the one little nerd online who like brought up those tweets to cancel him. You got him a job, dude. You made him richer. You thought you were taking his life away. You gave him a more extravagant one. He's a head of a whole studio now. I don't know, man. It's just James Gunn never gets canceled. We never get Superman. That's crazy to think about for me. All right, what else did we happen here? In 2022, Warner Brothers boss David Zaslav allegedly dismissed as. Oh yeah, doesn't surprise me with the things I've heard about Zaslav. But you guys remember for the longest time they've been talking about this Black Superman movie, with Takashi Coates. Let's see, Superman movie, which I wouldn't have mind as an Elseworld thing. It could have worked. I do think though it is good that it didn't happen because we're trying to prop up this new Superman. We're trying to get Superman fixed in the public eye because so many people still have a jaded impression of him because of the previous version, which I don't hate. The Superman reviews are coming, and you'll hear my thoughts on Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman this weekend, hopefully tomorrow. But we'll see how Reed, our editor, gets far with the footage. I don't think it would have been the best time to develop this while we're still trying to showcase another Superman that's supposed to prop up DCU. But I do hope that something like this ends up happening. I would definitely like to see it as an Elseworld story. But yeah, the CEO boss was like, "That's woke. That's too woke." Tyrone McGinnis told me he wouldn't like to watch that, so I'm not feeding that to the people. Too woke. All right. Code's script was produced by J.J. Abrams. Nothing like that. Gunn and DC Studios Safran could still make the movie in the future. The one thing that did make me kind of sad though is I don't know if you guys saw, there was like this interview that James Gunn said about Static Shock, because that was a movie that was supposedly in the works before he became head of studio and was like going to be part of that era with the Blue Beetle movie, the Batgirl movie. Static Shock was going to be one of those. And James Gunn, when he was asked about it, he said, unfortunately, there's some issues with that movie. Saying here, Static Shock movie on hold. James Gunn explains complexities behind it. It looks like Static Shock isn't completely owned by DC. He's a character owned by another comic brand. I'm trying to find the name of the comic brand. I don't see it here. Milestone. There we go. He's owned by a comic brand known by named Milestone, and that's the issue there. So they can't exactly make a Static Shock movie right now, which sucks because I would actually love that, and I think he'd be a character that could fit into the universe that he's building. Let's see here, other things that were revealed. Gunn has said he could see Coates being turned into an Elseworld movie like the Joker and Matt Reeves. Yeah, okay. Says here, Zaslav met with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to discuss how to fix the DC, but those talks ended after the start of the DC movie Black Adam flop. What a crazy time for us fans when that happened, man. You guys remember when Black Adam was the savior of the DCU, dude? I just got to bring those up. The Black Adam images, dude, this right here, this era, crazy. He was in Fortnite. He got comic books on Roblox. He even hijacked the post-credit scene of their DC animated movie. Dude, Warner Brothers was like, Black Adam, he the next best thing. He gonna change the hierarchy of the DCU. I kind of hope Black Adam does somehow appear in James Gunn's DCU, but I don't need him to be as big of a villain as they were setting him up to be. Just have him fight Shazam, because that's who he should have been fighting, not Superman. I know he can maybe stand toe-to-toe with Superman, especially this James Gunn Superman, because it seems like he's more on an even playing field with a lot of these heroes. But yeah, dude, that was crazy. It says here, when Gunn and Safran got the job, they canned a third Wonder Woman film starring Gal Gadot set in present day. That is kind of sad, but I mean, I would be more upset about that Wonder Woman thing if Wonder Woman 84 was actually good. Wonder Woman 84 wasn't all that good to me. It had some strong moments, but it didn't live up to the first film. But it does suck that they were building up to Wonder Woman in modern day, because they went through, like, what was it, the early 30s, 20s, 40s, whatever. Then we were in the 80s. And then we would have been in present day. Would have been nice to see. But oh well, now we're getting Wonder Woman rebooted, and I'm very curious how that'll go. Gunn and Safran are targeting 1 animated, 2 live-action films a year, as well as a TV show that will primarily stream on HBO Max. I think that's a solid output. 1 animated show, 2 live-action movies, and 1 TV show a year. That's good. That's good. It already feels like a lot, but that's good with me. That's good, because Marvel, I mean, they had a year with like 4 movies in one, 3 TV shows. It gets to too much at a certain point. The goal is eventually team up DC's best known characters, including Batman and Wonder Woman, something Gunn has already suggested is in the works in a Justice League film. That's what I want to know next. Now that we know things are good, Superman is making money, people like it, how far away are we from the Justice League movie now? How many, I'm thinking Batman Brave and the Bold still has to come out and a Wonder Woman movie. That's the only solo films I need before a Justice League movie. Everything else is fine. So we got the Superman film. I'm thinking we're getting Batman Brave and the Bold pretty soon because James Gunn said this year he's reading both the script for Matt Reeves' Batman and his DCU Batman, meaning that film is on the same path of being made as Batman Part 2, and that movie comes out in 2027. Could we get Brave and the Bold in 2027 or something like that? Either way, and Wonder Woman, those are the 3 movies I need as solo films setting up Justice League. I will be a happy bird. So, within 6 years, 7 years? How far away are we from it? I don't know. 4 or 5 years? No, don't rush it already. Please, 6, 7. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I don't want to say like 10 years, man. 10 years is such a long wait. But 4 or 5 years, that would be pretty hopeful for me. That'd be pretty hopeful for me. Jack Black is Wonder Woman. All right, let's finish off some of these reports here. The revelation comes hot on the heels that Superman reviews hitting the internet. IGN even gave it an 8 out of 10. And honestly, that's what I give it to, 8 out of 10. Although I really like the movie. Yes, I got my nitpicks and stuff. I still really like it. Some people were not happy with me being honest about my thoughts on Superman. Although, like, I like the movie. In fact, I would go as far as to say I love it. But I mentioned one nitpick, and they're like, "You hater!" And then other people were like, "You're too nice on the movie." So what is it then? I'm too nice or I'm too mean on it? I like it, buddy. I'm dressed as freaking XL Luthor. Superman is wonderfully entertaining, heartfelt cinematic reset to the Man of Steel, and a great start, the DCU on the big screen. All right. Yeah, honestly, dude, very much looking forward to Peacemaker Season 2 because that's up and coming, Lantern series, all that. So, bro, right now, the DCU is saved. Superman is doing good things. Let's hope they keep up this momentum. I mean, we've seen Marvel in a place where they had a long streak. They had a 10-year streak. It'd be awesome if Warner Brothers had a 10-year streak with just really entertaining films. We'll see. We'll see about that.